What's going on? It's DJ iSizzle and welcome. This is my top 5 favorite rom-com movies of all time. Let's take a look. Number 5, The Wedding Singer. All right, so up front, if you are not a fan of like sexually explicit like dialogue and humor, then maybe pass on this one or watch the edited version of this on TV. Set in 1985, The Wedding Singer stars Robbie, played by Adam Sandler, a wedding singer, and Julia, played by Drew Barrymore, a waitress. They are both engaged, but to the wrong people. And what do you know? Fortune intervenes and helps them discover each other. The Wedding Singer has themes of love is more important than money. And what a great message. And it's a message we don't really see in movies that much today. Also, it features the song Grow Old With You, which is a great Adam Sandler song. If you have never heard it, you got to check it out. It's a really touchingly romantic song. And let's talk about the soundtrack. The soundtrack is amazing 1980s music. You Spin Me Round, True, You Make My Dreams Come True, Too Shy, White Wedding, and Love Stinks, just to name a few. If you love 1980s pop culture, style, music, and Billy Idol, I think you'll love this movie. All right, coming in at number 4, Can't Buy Me Love. Can't Buy Me Love is set in 1987, which The Wedding Singer was set in 1985. So it's 2 years later, I guess, in the timeline of everything. An outcast, played by Patrick Dempsey, secretly pays the most popular girl in school, played by Amanda Peterson, $1,000 to pretend that he is her girlfriend for 1 month. This movie starts off with the Beatles song Can't Buy Me Love, and what a great song. I love the Beatles. At its heart, Can't Buy Me Love, it's about someone who is a nerd and wants to be cool, so he pays $1,000 to hang out with the cool kids for a month. So many themes of growing up and trying to figure out who you are in this movie. You know, I love this movie. It has so much heart to it. And you know what? It has a great lesson, and the message of this movie is opposites attract. And you know what? You should never deny who you are based on your class, social status, and what other people think. You can do anything you put your heart into. I believe that. Well, guess what? Money can't buy me love, or maybe it can. It's such a good movie. Check it out. Number 3, The Princess Bride. Hey, 1987 had some great movies, and this one was made in 1987 as well, as the previous movie was made in 1987. The Princess Bride is a 1987 American fantasy adventure comedy film directed by Rob Reiner and tells the story of a bedridden boy played by Fred Savage, aka Kevin Arnold, and his grandfather, Peter Falk, aka Columbo, who reads him a story of a farm boy turned pirate, played by Cary Elves, who encounters numerous obstacles, enemies, and allies in his quest to be reunited with his true love Buttercup, played by Robin Wright. The score is outstanding, but what makes the score really good is that all those moments, like the Cliffs of Insanity, like you don't really notice the score, but it's there, and it just moves the movie along so well. And the best scores are the ones you don't notice until they want you to notice them. So, and also the theme song to this is such a beautiful song. I absolutely love the theme song. The Shrieking Eels, Inconceivable, The Cliffs of Insanity, A Peanut, As You Wish. I love this movie. It's so good. Number 2, Groundhog Day. You probably wouldn't think of Groundhog Day as a romantic comedy, but it is. So Groundhog Day tells the story of a narcissistic, self-centered weatherman played by Bill Murray, who finds himself in a time loop on Groundhog Day. For one, it's just a beautiful story about self-improvement wrapped up in a quirky holiday theme, and it has to be wearing rom-com clothes because Phil bets on his ability to win Rita, the woman of his dreams, but she rebuffs his advances. Essentially, he tells her he loves her. Phil becomes depressed because she turns him down, and desperate to escape the loop, he eventually connects with Rita, and he learns the lesson that he has to help her find her happiness, and it can't always be about him. So it's a touching story, and really at the heart of it is a great romantic comedy. There is some really dark comedy here, though. But however, it's also really funny, possibly like Bill Murray's career-defining role. This film has so much heart, and it's so much fun to watch. So if you haven't seen Groundhog Day, check it out. It's a really fun watch. All right, coming in at number 1, of course, I'm from Seattle, so I would have to choose Sleepless in Seattle. So after the death of his wife, Sam, played by Tom Hanks, moves to Seattle with his son, Jonah. When Jonah calls in to a talk show radio program to find himself a new wife for his father, Sam grudgingly gets on the line to discuss his feelings, where Annie, played by Meg Ryan, a reporter in Baltimore, hears Sam speak and falls for him. Even though she is engaged, unsure where it will lead, she writes Sam a letter asking him to meet her at the Empire State Building on Valentine's Day. So I'm gonna say right now, like Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan are perfectly cast in this movie. This is just a great movie to watch. It's very wholesome and like we don't get a lot of movies like this. It was based on an affair to remember. It's just a great movie. Fun fact about the casting: Dennis Quaid turned down the role of Sam, who at the time he was dating Meg Ryan. Also, who turned down the role of Annie was Julia Roberts. And on a $21 million budget, it made $228 million at the box office. The film was nominated for 2 Oscars for Best Original Screenplay and Best Original Song, but didn't win either. Also, I have to say that the soundtrack is one of my favorite. It has so many great artists on it: Nat King Cole, Louis Armstrong, Carly Simon, Joe Cocker, and of course Celine Dion with When I Fall in Love. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. It's my #1 pick as one of my all-time favorite rom-coms. All right, that's it. What's your favorite rom-com? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, make sure that you have a positive day. Thank you for watching.